Yeah, g'day guys. If you've ever wanted to make a winch mount for something like this is the video for you. Here we go. So this is the Big Ass Winch. I bought it, well, I traded this winch for part of a golf buggy. Yeah, so it's 12,000 pound winch. I think it says a 20 meter cable, but I can't find it anywhere on any of the literature, on the box or in the packaging. And but that's in Australia, that's just over 5 ton or 5.5 ton nearly. So let's here it is, all pulled out of the box. And comes with a fairing, is that what you call them? The rollers at the front. And it's a disengage lever and everything. It's a really good unit. And a remote. So it comes with a big long cable and everything, which clips into the side of the box here. But the funny thing is, you can unhook the remote, and it's got a battery in it, which is pretty awesome. I thought that was awesome anyway. So what I'm going to do, make a big plate underneath and a receiver. It's just a bit of a heavy duty box, that's all. And then make it so this power box sits on top. Actually, I think it already does with these little brackets. So that'll sit on top, out of the way, and make a bracket for this on the front. So it'll connect to it. And then we'll be able to put it into any tow hitch receiver and be able to use it on just about anything, depending on how big a battery cable I suppose you got. This comes with a relatively long one. It's probably only a meter or so there. And this is the earth, like, because one of these go to earth or something or other. So work all that out. But first up, I need to flip this over, to work out a few dimensions for a bit of plate, and connect a bit of steel so it hooks into a receiver. So just let me cut a bit of steel, we'll work it out. Here we go. Yeah, and now a word from our sponsor. Yeah, well, there's no bloody sponsor. It's just me. No one's going to want to sponsor this channel. So if you thought about helping the channel out in any sort of way, it'd have to be subscribe, and then more people can sort of see the stuff that I do. And if you really like it, give us a thumbs up. That'd be awesome. So one day I'll have a sponsor. Anyway, subscribe, that'd help. Thanks guys, back to the video. Okay, we've got a bit of steel cut. Won't need a whole lot for this, but sort of, it's not the size that a lot of people have. Sitting in stock, this is about 100 by 100 by about 5 mil. So that'll be plenty for the lead rollers, so it'll be perfect for that, to hold it at the front here. And then this will be the main base plate. I just got to mark it out and put the 4 holes there. This piece will actually fit in the receiver. It's a really heavy wall, you know, like a 5-6 mil walled material, so it will be certainly plenty strong enough. It was actually a stair stanchion, if you can sort of imagine it, on a stairway, and I've got a few of them, so I use them for these type of products. It's perfect material for this, and I might be able to, I'll certainly use that angle, the angle that it's on, because that'll fit nicely under this. It'll be sort of there, and I've just got to trim it off there and take off a bit of paint where I'm going to weld it. So that should be really good. I've made it so long because some 4-wheel drives, it will need to fit under the spare wheel that are mounted on the rear of a vehicle. I know that Garry's at AMC Restorations, his Jeep has a spare wheel hanging off the back, so I went and measured his. So you'd think that would be at the worst, because he'll probably use this apparatus a couple of times like myself. So anyway, let's take some measurements for the bolts and everything, and do a bit of drilling, and then start figuring out how we're going to do it, because I've got to cut out a bit out of here for the cable pulleys, the fair, oh, I'm not sure what it's called, a fairing. Write down in the comments of what it's supposed to be. I think it's a lead rollers, lead fairing, something anyway like that. So put it down in the comments on what the actual terminology is for that. And then we'll start mounting everything up. I've got to drill a hole in here. So you watch me do that, and we'll tack it all together. See how it looks. So let's get into that, eh? Here we go. Okay, so I've got everything all drilled, about a 12mm hole, which is plenty because I think it's only a 10mm bolt that's going through it. And these ones here, they needed to be that size. And I've drilled little holes in the corners there, so when I cut out that section there, that's where the rope goes between the rollers. So let's get into cutting that out. Rightio, so that fits perfectly. Well, I think it does anyway. That's all tidied up, gives us a really nice round corner when you put the drill in there. Tidy right in the corners there. You can just still see the corner drills. Anyway, so that's really good, and this fits perfectly. And tons of room for the cable. Doesn't touch on the sides. Actually, like the frame of the thing touches before the that plate does, so that should be good. Okay, so let's start putting some stuff together. I'll bolt the base plate onto the winch first, and then see how everything else sort of sits together. Let's get into that. Here we go. It's got these little square nuts which sit into this little slot here. Just poke it in there and chuck your bolt in. Nice and easy. I guess it's designed for when you're mounting it on a bull bar or something, or is there a specific distance it needs to go? Pretty sure not. As long as it's sort of central, I guess. Looks like a good spot. There's room there to feed the rope in if need be, or however, and that's what I'm thinking of doing, is cutting off that piece of angle. I guess the alternative is just drill a couple of big holes in it so then it's all bolted together. Yeah, I might do that. Everything you make seems to just, you make it as you go, or it comes together as you go. So I just mark that as an indicator, and then I'll pull those couple of bits apart. And then we can drill the holes where they're supposed to be. Now this already has a hole there. That's because the angle iron was second hand and it was used on something else. So, but it may or may not be in the right spot. We'll sort of see when we get all this apart. That looks pretty good under there. See that angle? Nice and tidy. I'll just measure the center of this plate and then put a little mark there, and then I'll put a bit of weld on it. So I'll disassemble it one more time. That looks pretty perfect there. And we're away. So here we go. Let's do a bit of welding. There we go, all the welding done. Do you think it's okay? Put a little extra gussets in there too, just in case. I was kind of thinking there might be a bit of sideways pull, as you should never do. I didn't weld across there, but there's tons of weld and heat and joining ability there. 1 inch holds a ton, they say. Plenty of inches there. So now I will put a bit of colour on it, or probably just a bit of zinc. I think I might just zinc it because it'll probably be outside every now and then. Put a bit of zinc on it and bolt it up. Good old silver zinc. Good stuff, that. Let's start getting some control boxes and things sorted. I guess these are going to be relatively easy to work out. Too hard, red on the red, I guess. Let's go with that anyway. The yellow goes on the yellow and the blue goes on the blue. Very tricky stuff. And then there's one underneath. Now what we got is a couple of eyelets left on the end, but what I'm planning to do is on whatever vehicle I put it on, because it'll be different vehicles, I'm probably just going to use jumper lead cable, so I'll just put a bolt in there for something for the jumper lead cable to clamp onto so it doesn't continually arc. So I'll just put a couple of bolts in there, and I'll put a sleeve over this so it's only got like this much exposed. So we've hooked her all up to Garry's Jeep, and we've run the line out all the way down to the old van sitting there, just for a bit of fun. Well, we've actually pulled it all the way out and we've hand spooled it back in, so we know it actually works. So now we're going to drag something, whether it's the van or the Jeep. So whichever one's got a better handbrake, we're going to see which one wins. so I'll just set you guys up on the tripod and we'll winch away. So let's get into that. Well, we're at the drags, so, and the winch is doing this effortlessly. It's probably what, 1300 kilo van, It's only the back wheels that are resistant, so the front ones are just sort of rolling along for the ride. We did some skids in the van, Gary, so that seems to be working all right. There's got to be some other things we can take to the drags. So it seems to be working exceptionally well. The old Jeep has a bit of a jiggle every now and then, but has no trouble pulling it. Sort of not spooling on perfectly, but we'll pull that back out again, I think. So there we go. Just disconnected the cable and everything. Just check out the wireless function and we're away. It's getting too close. Anyway, so if you like this video, give us a thumbs up, and if you saw value in the little build there of the welding project, consider subscribing. That'd be awesome. We'll catch you on the next one, eh? See ya.